Hi fashion lovers, welcome to my channel. Today it is this overlap cut together crop top, right? Overlap, not wrap, overlap. Okay, so for this top, this is the calculation I'll be working with. Shoulder 16 divided by 2, bust 38. Now for this bust, I just wrote it out. I'll not be using it anyway, but it's just there. Then waist measurement is 28 plus 4. All right, now half length of this blouse, or the length at which you want it. If you want it below the half length, add it, that will be your blouse length. Okay, so watch my shoulder. I divided it by 2, it gave me 8. I added 6. If you watch there, you see SL sleeve length, the length at which the sleeve of this top is, you can see. All right, it's between 6 and 8. So for whatever sleeve length you're using, just add it where I added my 6. Okay, whatever it gives you, you add it up, and mine came 14. My bust divided by 4, total 9. All right, now bear in mind this is a cut together where you add both the shoulder and the sleeve together and cut. That is why you see me adding the sleeve length to the shoulder. Have that at the back of your mind. All right, now, and secondly, the second thing you should consider is this is an overlap. The front part of it is lapping on each other, so it is an overlap. All right, now there are so many ways we cut an overlap. Okay, but for this type particular one, we will be using overlap allowance. Okay, this pattern is folded into 2, and the total length I have here is 17, which is okay with me. All right, now the first thing I will do is mark out my overlap allowance. Now your overlap allowance can be 4, 4.5, 5, 6. It shouldn't be too wide. Okay, but for the cost of this video, I will be using 4.5. All right, so that is what I just indicated. So I'll be connecting it together, okay, to separate my overlap allowance from my main bodies. Okay, now this line I drew now is just like the part of the two. If you look at the dress, that part that laps together, that is the part. So I will be taking it to be my overlap allowance, which is 4.5. Mind you, this pattern, this paper is folded into 2. Okay, just like I always say, if it doesn't give you what you want on the paper, it will not give you on the fabric. So once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is mark your shoulder. Remember, shoulder 8 is my shoulder. 16 divided by 2 gives me shoulder 8. Okay, now having marked my shoulder, I need to mark the sleeve length. So if my sleeve length is 8, 9, 10, whichever one it is, that is what I'll be marking. For the cost of this video, I marked 6, and the next marking on the close to it is my sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. So this is shoulder, this is SL, all right, and this is my AS, that is XA. All right, that is sewing allowance. I hope you understand. Now the measurement of the shoulder, that measurement you marked on the shoulder, you calculated on the shoulder, that is what I just marked out first at the beginning of the pattern. Once you have done that, the next thing you need to determine is your armhole depth. What makes your armhole depth? The fitting, the style makes your armhole depth. The size of the person determines the kind of armhole depth you're going for, or the length of the armhole depth. Well, for the cost of this video, I'm using 9 inches. That is what I just marked. Okay, now 9 inches, remember, is a cut together. It needs to be free. It cannot be fitted on the armpit because the dress we are talking about is free, and the back and front, the shoulder is cut together. Okay, so this is my armhole depth, which is 9 inches. Yours can be 9, yours can be 10, yours can be 11. Matter of choice. Style, size, and choice is what determines your armhole depth. Okay, Good. Haven't gotten there. You already know the down part is my waist, okay, which is here I'm marking. According to the calculation, my waist is 9. So I just marked to 9. Okay. Once I've marked the waist, I need to connect my shoulder to my armhole depth. Creating the space where the sleeve, or sorry, the hand will be passing through. So I just measured and it gave me 15 and a half rather. So that is what I marked here too. The same thing you have on your shoulder is what you equally mark right at the armhole depth. Take your rule and connect. Okay. Connect it. Once you connect, the next thing is to curve the armhole, to connect from the armhole depth to the waist part of it. All right. Now, you can say, let's use rule to connect this. But you will be seeing the effect, the difference between connecting it with your rule and connecting it with your French curve. Watch the dress, the top itself. The armhole pad is curvy, not slanty. So because of that, I will not be using my rule. I'll be using my French curve. All right. And I'll give it a little bit space, like 1 or 1.5 inches before giving it this curve. Now, whenever you're dealing with cut together, between the armhole depth and the next measurement, it should always have this kind of curve. You can decide to extend. Maybe you feel the waist is too tiny. Extend it, use your French curve and curve it this way that I just did. You're either using the last two. The first one I mark is completely out of it. All right, have that in mind. Okay, and remember your armhole can always increase. Have that in mind too. Like for this person, I use 9. I can equally use 10. After that, the next thing is your neck width. And for this neck width, we are dealing with 3.5. Remember, measuring your neck width, where the armhole, the overlap allowance stops, that is where I started measuring. Once you've done that, you get your rule. Connect from the waist, connect from the neck width, the 3.5, the 3.5 you measured, connect from there down to the ending of the fabric, just like I did right now. You see that? It is very easy. This is one of the easiest crop top, easiest cut together top you can make. Now, this is the center. This is where you know your neck depth. The point where the line between the neck width and the overlap allowance meet, that is your neck depth. You see that? And I have 7 as my neck depth. One thing I know for this dress, it will not be too exposing, neither will it be too choking on the neck. All right, so haven't gotten to this extent, please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, give this video a like, okay, and give this video a thumbs up. All right, we post amazing videos daily, and do drop your questions on the comment section. I will attend to them. Now you can see how I'm cutting. For the cutting, I'll be going with the last one I drew. Watch how it will be cut. All right, remember the first marking on that, connecting the armhole to the waist cannot be done that way, should not be done that way, not that, cannot be done that way. You need that curving. It needs to curve. Okay, so this is our first pattern. This is our front pattern, which is ready. Nothing else remaining. If you choose, you can give it a shoulder slant. It's a matter of choice. It's not compulsory. So we have gotten the first step, which is our front pattern. All right, now for us to get our back, we'll equally use the front pattern. You know, I don't want to go straight into start marking from the beginning. So basically what I'll do is use my front pattern, place it on this pattern. All right, mind you, this pattern right here is folded into two. Remember, there will be no zip on this, no zip, no button at the back. All right, so once you fold it into two, place this your pattern. Where will place it? This part I'm touching is on open side. Have that in mind. Look at how I'm placing it. I'm targeting that overlap allowance part of it. That is where I'm targeting. Okay, it should be the same line with the folding on the unfolded parts. They all needs to be the same line. You can see I'm trying to make sure they are on the same line. All right, it is very, very important. So having folded that 4.5 inside, you see I folded it in. Okay, with this way I don't need to mark anything. All I need to do is trace. But first I need to measure the neck width. Remember, we worked with, when cutting the front, our neck width was 3.5. Every dress you make, the front and back has the same neck width but different neck depth. Therefore, our neck width for this dress is 3.5. So I need to check the neck, all right, to make sure it is 3.5. All right, so get your tape, place it, and make sure the placing is properly done. How will you know if it is properly done? When you check your place tape, you see that the same line where you're on 3.5 is where the fabric sewn to. That means you're on the right part. Okay, so the next thing is neck depth for the back is 2 inches. Okay, so for this back pattern, the neck is 3.5 by 2 inches. All right, remember there is no zip at the back or button, but you can equally decide to put button. Okay, it's a matter of choice. Now for us to cut, I'll just need to place my tape, my pin, and pin it together. Now mind you, you can actually shift the front pattern to start from the beginning of this fabric. You can do that, but because the pattern paper I'm using, that upper part has a slash, all right, so I don't want, so I'm putting it where it is right now because I know I can easily cut the upper part, make it equal before transferring it to the fabric. All right, you can see I'm trying to make it equal first. That is the first utmost thing. Make sure they are even before you transfer it. Oh, I need to recut this, cut it properly. This part I missed it. So you cut straight. Now you can see the upper part is the same with the our front pattern. I will equally cut the armhole, the sleeve part of it to the armhole. I will equally cut the curvy part of it. Okay, now because of the pinning that have been done, I can easily cut. All right, so it's remaining the down part on the length. It has to be even. Okay, now I've gotten the every other part. The only difference between front and back, two things: the neck depth and the overlap allowance. All right, now for our neck depth for the back, we have already indicated it, and it is 2 inches. You can see. So basically what I'll do is take this off, you know, fold it a little bit so it can give space. All right, once this is done, I'll get my rule. I like to make box, you know, before curving. So I've done that. Curve it. This is how you curve your normal back neck depth. Okay, so now I use 3.5 for this neck width. Do you think 3.5 is okay? If you think 3.5 is better, or 4 or 4.5. Let me know which you think should be used. Have it in mind, this is an overlap. All right. Secondly, it is not as wide on the neck. Look at the dress very well. And thirdly, there's no zip, no no button allowance at the back. So which of the neck width do you think will be better? I use 3.5. Will you be using 4 or 3.5? Let me know. Now, having cut this, okay, this is the other part of it. You know, the front needs to be 2-piece. Okay, the front has to be 2, while the back will be 1. All right, so this is the front that have been cut. Let's just place it, and see how it looks on the pattern. If it is not giving us what we want, then we are getting it wrong. All right, so let's see if what is on the video or what is on the picture, it's what this paper is giving us. All right, so let's place it well, position it first before cross-checking. Is this what the style, is this the style on the picture, or did we make a mistake somewhere? Let me know on the comment section. All right, so let me just adjust the camera to capture the fabric very well. All right. So you can see, you can turn it whichever one you feel like. It can be in any form. Any one of them can be on top of it. All right. Now, once you have gotten to this extent, what is left of this our pattern? Now, looking at it, you already know we got it. All right. So the next is our band. All right, there is a band at the lower waist part of it. It can be 2 inches, it can be 1 inch, it can be 1.5, 2.5, your choice. Okay, and for the cost of this video, 2 inches is approximate. It's perfect, it's okay. All right, so when you finish sewing, you attach your band by the waist. This band can have elastic at the back if you choose, fine. And the finishing of this dress can be done with facing and bias or full lining, whichever facing, whichever pattern or method you decide to use, it is okay. But looking at the one on the picture, they actually use bias. Yes, what they use is bias. All right, they did not use facing, they did not use full lining. They went for bias, and this is it. Now, is this paper not giving me what it should give? If I should just carry this and place it on pattern fabric and cut, will it still come out exactly as it is on the fabric? Yes, it will come out as it is. All right, so thank you for always watching. See you on my next video. Much love.